That the FBI seized Mayor Eric Adams' electronic devices this week as part of a federal investigation into the mayor's campaign fundraising.
Learned the seizure of Mayor Eric Adams' phone and other electronic devices.
I just want to be completely transparent, is what I've stated all the time. I sleep well at night. I am clear that we follow the rules.
Of a federal corruption investigation into whether Adams' 2021 campaign conspired with the Turkish government and others to receive illegal foreign donations.
Bribery and extortion, allegedly accepting cash payments in exchange for lucrative deals.
Dozens of workers accused of ripping off the largest public housing system in the nation, home to more than 300,000 New Yorkers. The arrests ongoing at this hour, so many that U.S. Marshals were told will have to transport the suspects by the busload just to get them to court to face the corruption-related charges.
It was commonplace for these building superintendents and assistant supers to extort no-bid contractors for repair work at nearly 100 NYCHA complexes spanning the 5 boroughs.
Only when the defendants received those cash bribes would they award the contract or sign off on the payment to the contractors. And many contractors paid these bribes because if they didn't, the defendants would give these jobs to someone else.
By public workers in New York City. 18 of them arrested today for stealing identities, some of which belong to people who were dead. All this to get financial benefits during the COVID pandemic. City employees charged with illegally getting those benefits.
A Department of Homeless Services employee here in the city. And in the process of looking into that, that's when investigators discovered this other alleged fraud. In total, 5 New York City DHS employees, as well as employees of the NYPD, MTA, U.S. Postal Service, and NYCHA, have been arrested and charged with conspiracy and other charges. So we're talking 18 government workers.
Questions in the New York City corruption scandal. Sources telling CBS 2 the pay-to-play investigation swirling around public officials, including Mayor de Blasio.
Into political donations received by public officials, including Mayor de Blasio, said he has cut ties with James Capolino, a super lobbyist who raised big bucks for the mayor, met personally with him several times, and had a hand in the controversial Rivington House deal that allowed a nursing home to be turned into luxury condos.
I have not been in touch with Mr. Capolino. He, going into mayoralty, was someone that I respected and was a friend and someone I had talked to a lot over the years. But I do not have contact with him anymore.
Capolino has steered tens of thousands of dollars in donations to the mayor, $50,000 after lobbying for Rivington, $40,000 for de Blasio's re-election campaign, and $10,000 to the Campaign for One New York, the mayor's controversial nonprofit. Political experts say it doesn't matter if the mayor meets personally with the lobbyist, they still get taken care of.
Bombshell scandal at the NYPD and the FBI investigation that revealed accusations of corruption.
The probe involves both present and former police officers. That an apparent reference to former Chief of Department Philip Banks, who is reportedly being investigated for his ties to 2 businessmen, Jeremy Reichberg on the left at a dinner with Banks and Jonah Recknick on the right. The feds are reportedly looking at Banks' financial dealings as well as trips and hotel accommodations he may have received. Wiretaps on the businessmen's phones turned up questions of influence peddling involving as many as 20 cops. Being investigated, sources say, are accusations that cops may have received small gifts, Super Bowl tickets, trips to Las Vegas, and in at least one case, a top-ranking cop reportedly sold Captain's Union's identification cards to help people avoid traffic and parking tickets.
Tonight from the NYPD's Bribes for Gun Licenses scandal, 2 officers and 1 deputy inspector are already facing administrative action.
That investigators are looking at others in the Firearms Licensing Division, which operates out of police headquarters. A particular interest, sources say, are 2 cops who retired recently. Sources say they're trying to determine if one of the officers was conducting a consulting business on the side, collecting cash for advice on how to get permits. They're also trying to determine, sources say, if it was a conflict. Also, sources say the entire command structure in the 66th precinct in Borough Park, where Lichtenstein is believed to have sold some of his gun permits, is under a cloud. Lichtenstein is charged with offering to pay a bribe of $6,000 to get the gun licenses without a background check, then selling the license for $18,000.
Authorities in New York say James DeLeo, seen here in the white shirt, signed off on crane inspections he did not perform and helped crane operators cheat on licensing exams, all for thousands of dollars in bribes. Although investigators say his actions are not connected with 2 recent crane collapses that left 9 people dead, it's another blow to the city's buildings department.
This should be a wake-up call and a recognition that this department is plagued with too few resources, too many poorly trained inspectors, and obviously there's a whole integrity question as it relates to the construction process.
DeLeo has worked in the city's buildings department since 1982. He's currently the acting chief inspector with the department's cranes and derricks division.
This is such a tragedy. This is so horrific.
Authorities say no other city inspectors have been charged, but the probe is continuing.